Hello there. This video will be about some of my guitars built by John Greven. I had a few requests for that. And got to know his work through a magazine that was very popular in the 70s and 80s. It's defunct now. It's Frets magazine. And every month they had a Frets Looks At article. So they looked at a guitar, and this one goes about, it's about John Greven's guitar for fingerpickers, the F model. By the way, check out the video description. I've put links to all those articles in Frets magazine about John Greven and a few pictures of his older catalogs. So somewhere in the mid-80s I contacted John, and by snail mail. It was way before email, even fax machines. And well, I took the risk because I'll never play the Greven guitar, neither heard one, and ordered his fingerpicking model, which is the FX model, this one I'm holding. And it's his, well, you could say it's what comes to size, it's between a dreadnought and a triple O, maybe a quadruple O. And this is the picture from his catalog. I like 12 fret guitars, so this is a 12 fret model, but with a Venetian cutaway. And John in that time, and probably still, liked maple guitars. Maple wood, curly maple, like you can see here in the back. It's really figured. And also the neck is in maple. And it has a Sitka spruce top. And maple is between rosewood and mahogany, so it has a soft edge. And this guitar, although it's big and has a lot of bass, I can really play anything on it. It's like I use it for blues, for slides, for intricate finger picking contemporary instrumentals. I've put some links in the video description as well to other songs I play on this guitar. I really can play anything on it, and it sounds good. Like, for example, some Travis picking. The bass comes out really nicely. You can get that thumpy feeling. Okay, it also has some of John's famous inlays. This one has birds going up the fretboard. And well, I'm not sure if you can see it really from up close. The high ones, around the 14 and 15, 17 frets, they still have a lot of definition. He marked it with jeweler's ink, I think, some black, very fine lines. But here, of course, they have gone because of playing and cleaning the fretboard. It also has headstock inlay. It's not his white lady. I saw this inlay in a guitar book and I lost it. I can't remember where it's from. And it was a Californian luthier. I think his name was Young, his family name, but it's not the Young from the Rezo guitars, from the National guitars. It's another one. And if you know, just let me know, just out of curiosity. And this is sort of, John has several styles. He starts with a herringbone ornamentation, I mean, and then it goes to a deluxe, the white lady, and then the presentation. And the ornamentation goes up, and the price also. I must say that John has always kept his guitars very affordable, and that's why I also have more of, well, several of his guitars, because if you buy several guitars, you get a multi-guitar discount, which is always nice, of course. So this guitar can do it all, and let's play some more lush chords. So, about 10 years later, around 1995, I got more interested in smaller guitars. Of course, they have a different sound. And I ordered one of his double O guitars. And this is a real, you could say it's a copy of a double O Martin with 42 style trimmings. It has I think it was an Engelmann top, which is tinted and already is beginning to craze. And it has a tortoise pickup, pick guard, which is also one of John's inventions. And it has a nice headstock, slotted headstock with a torch inlay. Also the inlays on the fretboard are typical Martin the Snowflakes. It has a Brazilian back and sides, which was still affordable in those days, and you could transport it from the US to Europe, which is almost impossible now, I think. And also Brazilian sides. And it's my only rosewood guitar. I have a sort of a hate and love relationship with rosewood. Sometimes I don't like it, sometimes I think it's fine. And for this guitar, I only use it for instrumentals. I never sing with it. I don't know why, but it just doesn't suit me. I'll play the first thing I played with the other guitar so you can have a comparison. So you know this is a completely different sound than the big maple guitar. Very well detailed. So I mostly play blues on it because, well, I'm a blues player. But I did some jazz tunes on this guitar as well. With some lightly amplified. It has a pickup under the saddle. Don't know which model anymore. And I rarely use it, but it can come in handy. Well, we're playing. On the other hand, this guitar doesn't really sound good when you play Travis picking, in my opinion. It doesn't have that really thump in the bass. Alright, let's go to number 3. about 10 years ago, I think about 2002, so it's a bit more, John kind of changed his production. Before that, he usually made his, let's say, his own versions of guitars. Like, I used to have a jumbo, but I sold that. And that was patented after a Gibson 185. And the same with his Dreadnought, which was of course patented after some Martin. And his F or FX guitar was his interpretation for fingerpicking guitars. But around that time in 2002, I think, he got hold of Mary Flowers. She's a very fine fingerpicker. Gibson L00 from 1934. And it gave him, I think, a new direction. And he copied the guitar, he made a prototype, and it didn't sound that good. It didn't have that vintage vibe. And after a few more tries, he simply decided to make it the way Gibson made it, and that was fast. Because the L00 is a guitar that was famous in the 30s, the Depression year, so it had to be cheap. And if you want a cheap guitar, you have to make it fast. Less labor, less cost. So he succeeded in making some very good copies. And this is one. I first ordered a Prairie State. I was in love with that model because one of my first teachers, Stefan Grossman, I've never seen him, but he's my first teacher through his books and CDs, LPs in those days. And he played a Prairie State, which he had retopped and fitted a new kind of pin type bridge, which is very characteristic. And I always liked the looks of that guitar. And when John started making copies of the Prairie State, I ordered one in lacewood, which is a very, very figured kind of wood. And finally, after receiving the guitar in a few months, I guess, wasn't really satisfied with it. It's a huge guitar. I think it's almost 17-inch on the lower bout. And it has a huge sound, which for my style of playing was a bit too much. So I contacted John and we made a deal, and I got this one. So a copy of a LO Gibson instead, which is mahogany, has a very nice, very small sunburst, completely dark, and with a rosewood fingerboard. And it's a very typical blues guitar, has that typical dry mahogany sound. That's what you get when you're used to 12 string, the 12 fret guitars, and when you're playing a 14 fret, it can go wrong. So this is the typical mahogany sound, very dry, although it has new strings. Let's play some Lightning Hopkins. So there you go, my Greven guitars. Have fun with it and check out the links for more information.